Welcome to the Hookup on Music with your host, Tony Bird.
Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to episode 138 of the Hookup on Music. And I want to welcome my guest this week, a returning guest. Thank you so much for joining me, Mike. How are you this evening?
I'm good. Thanks for having me back. I think this is the fifth. Is this fifth time?
It is the fifth time.
Dang.
And we have conquered an amazing concert this year together, which we'll talk about here pretty soon. But it is the holiday season, and I appreciate you just taking some time to talk some of your favorite albums this year. So very, very cool. Let's get started with some of your favorite shows of the year. What would you say some of your favorite shows of this year have been?
Well, definitely unranked, because I was fortunate to see so many great shows this year. You were present for two of them. The first one that comes to mind is definitely that Jack White set at Riot Fest. That was rock and roll heaven.
Definitely. What's the word I'm looking for? I've always been a White Stripes fan. I even like Jack White, but I can actually tell you now that I love him. Like, I mean, I'll fist fight someone. Like, I went home and told my wife, I was at the altar of rock. Like, you could never get any closer. It was like your Led Zeppelin experience. I mean, it was huge for me. So I can definitely see why that would be so huge to be a huge one. What was another one that I joined you at?
Also definitely The Damned. That was such a great set.
I owe you a lot for just taking me to the show, and then I owe you even a little bit more because that day introduced me to The Damned. I mean, I've always known their name, and I'm a huge Clash fan. But since then, they made my Spotify top 5. I mean, they really made an impact on that show. Also, just really, really awesome performance.
and then after the show,
the pictures, the guy,
the lead singer hands me his phone, and I'm just like,
and we took a picture of him, and that's the thing is, like, we should have got a picture for ourselves there, but we're just so like, what is going on? At the meantime, like, our backs are to this huge Weezer. Looks like they're in a spaceship set, and it's just like a lot of cool stuff going on. Stuff that also that, like, in hindsight, after, like, I started digging more into, like, even James, who I haven't really listened to too much, because even sitting afar just in the grass eating the amazing free popcorn that we got right. You taking in all these awesome sounds and stuff, man. It was really a good time.
So also at Riot Fest on Sunday, Dead was incredible. Chicago band, if you're not familiar, but just amazing energy, great performance. And sometimes when you're be backstage at Riot Fest, as you experience, sometimes the sound is kind of hit or miss, and you get a lot more bottom end, and sometimes you don't get the vocals, but you got the whole performance back there. So their set was incredible.
That was weird, is that a couple of the things that we saw back there, you didn't hear some of the vocals, and then, like, the Beach Boys, you heard everything.
Right.
Jack White, you heard everything. So it's kind of like, I don't know who's doing the mixing on some of the ones that you didn't hear anything, but some of the heavy stuff, I mean, that's what it's about, just turning those guitars up. Like, especially one of the first bands we saw, they were just really, really heavy. And then we got to see Helmet. That was cool too.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Very, very cool.
Another show I was fortunate to catch was I got to see Cindy Lee at the Empty Bottle, which I didn't get a chance to organize these, but scored.
Oh, hell yeah.
Scored Diamond Jubilee finally. So
very cool.
That's an all-timer record. And yeah, being able to see Cindy Lee at the Empty Bottle was awesome. Just a really delicate performance, and it was cool just to watch Cindy Lee go sit on a stool, play guitar without a strap, and just shred the thing, and then get up and do some, like 50s, 60s inspired stuff, and then some more like drum bass heavy stuff. Really incredible show.
That's awesome. Have you seen quite a few shows at the Empty Bottle?
Oh yeah. Another one was got to see the OCs on Halloween at the Bottle, which
those guys,
which was incredible. Coming really out awesome. With they all came out dressed up and in costume. I think John Dwyer, the lead singer, the band leader, was pretty sure he was Ace Frehley for a tribute, at least, kind of loosely based on that. But they played a lot of really old stuff because they brought Bridget Dawson back, who used to be in the band, and so they played a lot of their older like garage punk, blues rock more inspired, but with the two drummers and everything. There was so much gear on the stage that the opening band could barely fit up on the stage.
They got a lot of members in the band, for being in such a small area, which is kind of cool in a way too.
Throwing two drummers on that stage with a bass player, synth player, bringing Bridget back, and then John Dwyer's rig is like as tall as I am and just gigantic. And I saw him 2 nights previous at Talia Hall, and same amplification from Talia to the Bottle. So that was by far the loudest show I've ever been to.
Different sets?
With the exception of like a couple songs, completely different set.
Gotcha. Very cool. That's awesome to be able to see an artist within days at 2 separate venues in the same city. I always thought that was cool. Something I'll always remember, I think it was in the mid to late 90s, the Stones came to like Comiskey, Soldier Field, and like the Chicago Theater all within like 3 or 4 days. And I was with the OCs, I mean, that's even a smaller downsize from Talia Hall to Empty Bottle, but still cool if you're a fan of the band to see them in different aspects. So that's really, really cool.
You speaking of club size, I don't know if you ever caught this, but on PBS every so often, excuse me, that's where I've always caught it, is they've aired this concert that happened at I think it was at Buddy Guy's Legends. And I don't know if this was like the 70s or 80s, but it's a show at Buddy Guy's, and like Buddy Guy and his band are up playing, and then the Stones come into the club, and it's I think it's just Mick and Keith maybe, and the Stones come in and join Buddy Guy on stage for a bunch of songs.
I've seen some clips of that, but when you describe it like that, it makes me want to sit down and watch this whole performance now, because I haven't
it's really
about
cool if you can find it.
But even just really cool, anything else besides the OCs that you'd put in your top concert going list, or do you think those are some of your favorites? You think?
Oh gosh, I would have to even just go back through my calendar. I can't even remember.
Well, you see so many shows. It's. I mean, let's be really honest with one another. You probably didn't see too many bad shows this year.
Oh no,
they're all they're all winners in their amazingness. But going through some of these albums that you sent me, definitely some really awesomeness there. The very first one that you sent me was Billy Wood's Gollywog, his 9th solo album. Pretty interesting. What made you pick this one right here?
So going back to 2023, his Maps album they did it with Kenny Sagal was just absolutely phenomenal. About just kind of life on the road and his experiences over the years of being out on the road as a lower key touring musician. was really cool. That I played that album so much, and then Gollywog this year was I think Kenny Sagle's only on 1 or 2 tracks. So the production is a bit more dense than what Kenny Sagle brings to the table, but it works because the subject, the first minute of the album is harrowing, almost like I'm like, ugh, that's scary.
It is.
It's so dark, and just
track 4, they even got an Xmas song on the album.
So that was another show I got to see this year was Billy Woods at Talia Hall.
Oh, and, that would have been a really good show.
Yeah, he said
my first introduction. Me, even I went through him again here before we went on live here, and very, very awesome, interesting album. With all the tracks, a couple minutes long, telling a story, all intertwined. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and some really good spots on there too, like LP's on there. Elucid's on there. His partner that him and Billy Woods and Elucid form Armand Hammer, who also put out a really good album this year called Mercy. That is definitely worth checking out.
I mean, it gets really, going through some other people who have listened to the album, really, really rated high as a high album of really good listens from everybody that really, really dug into it. So you weren't alone in its awesomeness. But also I was interesting too, because he came out with another album too this year. He came out with, I think it was like in November, he came out with something too. So that's why I had to go back and double check and made sure that I got the right album here. But
yeah,
it's cool though. The beats are really good on this album.
Yeah, it's the production is always just phenomenal on his record. Like I said, it's the first time I listened to it front to back, I just was like, I'm scared. It's just such a dark, intense album, and just a lot of the sounds on there are, they hit you in the bones almost because it's so
real,
just dense.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely with you on that. But as far as the 9th album goes, you're kind of curious to see what's how this artist is going to keep growing. He definitely does a good job in that. I mean, when you go through some of the songs on the album, as you said, the first song, Jump Scare, definitely gets you going. Waterproof Mascara was another one that I thought was really good.
Yeah, that's a great one.
A lot of these albums that that we are listening to here are great with your headphones and listening in to a lot of cool sounds going on at the same time, which I can always appreciate. So I thought this was a very good pick. 18 tracks too, 52 minutes,
Yeah.
It's a good story, going on. The next one though that you picked, which I found to be very, very awesome, was the Sharp Pins, Balloon. An excellent piece of what feels like 1960, late 1960s, but not late 1960s, current. Another great album pickup right there.
Yeah, they're Chicago based, and the band leader Kai is really becoming a prominent figure in the kind of the Chicago DIY scene. He's in another band with Brian Case's son. Brian Case plays in Fox and played in 90 Day Men, and he's done numerous projects throughout the years. But Brian Case's son is in this other band with Kai called Lifeguard, and they're more of like a post rock kind of thing. And that album's really, really good as well. I think it came out this year. I can't remember. There's been so much good stuff this year.
I mean, just again, another album full of 21 tracks.
Yeah, some of them are short. Some of
they
them
are. Yeah. doing research for this, even an artist who has put in his time, Robin Hitchcock, really loved this album.
Awesome!
That these guys really set a good example for the sound that they're trying to represent, which I thought, which I would have to agree, because it was one of the ones when you sent it to me, I was enthralled with its awesomeness, just because I couldn't have told you that it was something that was brand new in 2025, but definitely worth it though.
Yeah, it's definitely, they've definitely spent time worshiping at the altar of the birds, you know, kind of that thing. But they've also, you know, made it their own as well. So for a band that's only been around a couple of years, and for being so young, it's phenomenal stuff from them.
You know, much kudos too to you, always looking out for a lot of these awesome Chicago bands. You know, quite a couple of them on the list here today, which is always awesome to hear something even a little bit cooler and deeper from the city that, you know, is so awesome. So very much appreciative on that. But again, a really good album. And they have a show coming up, don't they?
Yeah, January 4th. That's one of the other really cool things is they're playing for $5 at Shiba's.
Very
and
awesome.
No one does that anymore.
Yeah, nope, that is a pretty cheap show. On to your next album here, Gliders.
Yeah.
This, to be fair, honestly, out of all of them, I like all the albums you've sent me, but I really like this album a lot. The guitar on this album it's very awesome and cutting. Really quickly here, before we even go deeper into the album here, the track that I really enjoy a lot was track 4, Hard Ride, 6 minutes and 51 seconds of pure awesomeness. These guys, I would imagine, probably put on a really awesome show, but really cool, because like, did not have this on my list. You know, a really good band, you know, a 3-piece. Josh Condon on guitar, Eliza Webb on bass, and Joe Seeger on drums. Just really good stuff, man. Really good album.
I went up to Wisconsin this weekend, and on the drive, I was playing that record, and it finally hit me. I'm like, this is T-Rex. This is Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm like, that's who this is. You know, it's so good.
It's cool that you say that now, because I didn't even think of that when I was listening to it. But now, as soon as you say it, like, my mind can hear that. That's what's cool about when you're familiar with different artists, and then you go ahead and fill it in like that. But yeah, really good guitar playing, good songwriting. I was really impressed just with them as a whole. You know, there's some synths worked in there too. You know, it's just a good sound, I think, which I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Which a lot of these bands, which you could hear, is a lot of awesome, kind of like a honoring of the past, while also, as you said, looking to the future too.
Right.
I'm trying to see, where are these guys from here?
They're from Chicago as well.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Because quite a few of the bands I was looking up were from Chicago, and I definitely appreciate these guys and would definitely love to check these guys out if they ever do something live. You'll have to keep me informed, because I'm sure their show. Have you ever seen these guys live?
I haven't.
But I bet nonetheless that they put on a pretty good show. Next up is Tortoise.
Yes. The legends are back.
And good album. Really good album. Instrumental in all the best ways, I think. Definitely, I think you're reaching for it. There it is, there.
It's not the best lighting, but hey, we're making do here.
Very cool. It is also just a cool album cover as a whole.
That was another show I did get to see this year. So they played at the auditorium in Chicago with the Chicago Philharmonic Orchestra.
That is true.
And that was a really special show.
Did they play things from this album at that show?
They played the entire album front to back. But then also mixed in some older stuff. So off of their album TNT, they played Set My Face to the Hillside, which is really cool. It makes you want to go like put on a duster jacket and a hat and go wander through the desert in the middle of the night. You know, that kind of vibe. So really cool stuff.
That's why I always appreciate your musical prowess, because, you know, we could be at Riot Fest or we could be walking through the desert with dusters on and equal sound amazing. Especially this was a really good album too. One that I will definitely continue to play through 2026. They got a cool name too.
Yeah.
Tortoise. I always thought it's one of those bands that I've seen quite a lot. And right over here, I'm not going to go grab it, but I just picked up the most recent. I like to collect the Illinois Entertainer magazine.
Yeah.
I've been looking at these for 10, 20, 30 years.
Right.
They're on the, like, their name's on the cover of it. I haven't read their article yet.
Yeah.
I got it the other day, but again, cool to support another cool Chicago artist.
So funny story. So Dan Bitney from Tortoise, he plays drums and like synth in Tortoise.
Mm-hmm.
So him and this other guy, Leroy Bach, who used to be in Wilco, he now plays with Official Claire. Mm-hmm. So a couple times a month they'll play like a 2-hour show. Let's split into 2 sets of like just completely improv music. And one of the times I caught them at the California Clipper, they were playing their set, and Tamale Guy walks in. And if you don't know who Tamale Guy is, he comes around with this red cooler and, you know, just sells tamales in bars and stuff like that. Awesome. So he walks in and stands like kind of not directly in front of Dan Bitney, but kind of in his peripheral. And so Dan doesn't stop drumming, but he like reaches into his pocket, opens his wallet while he's drumming, hands Tamale Guy the money, and he buys tamales in the middle of his set. And he doesn't stop. I'm like, that's incredible.
That is incredible. That's a great story right there. So, one that I could definitely see myself doing if I was playing. You know, please, Tamale Guy. Amazing. Even more amazing is, I think, out of all the pics you sent me, is the name of this next artist, Celestephone and the Dealers of God, Cult Subterranea.
That album is absolutely bonkers.
It is definitely bonkers in an awesome way.
Right.
In a really, really actually awesome way. I was hearing so many different things while listening to this album. For 1 second, and I know it's not like it at all, but for some reason, I thought of like green jello or green jelly. Just something really, it was like really cool. But you know what else was really cool is, again, some of the beats on some of these songs. Like, it wasn't like, it's not harshly produced. The material might sound a little ridiculous, but I think that's the intention here.
It's very I mean, the lyrics and stuff are very like appropriate for, you know, talking about kind of like the technocrats and kind of dealing with like AI and stuff like that. But I've never heard anything quite like this. There's like funk, there's just really heavy like beat, like drums, and was it Seismic Sounding, I think, has just like these really like heavy drums that just sound are just so dense again. And then,
well, for some reason recently, a song that's been stuck in my head quite a lot is Mars, the song Pump Up the Volume. There's like this breakdown in there where there's like these drums. Like, I'm into that kind of stuff, so I kind of heard some of that too, which I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure. Again, I've just never heard anything like this. And it starts off and you're like, all right, this is interesting. And then it kind of starts getting a little left field. And you're like, wow, this is really, it can't get like much weirder than this, and then it just kind of keeps getting stranger.
Hey, that's that we like that sometimes.
Yeah.
I like the strange, I like the funky, I like the heavy. I think that's one thing that we've learned here is that there isn't really a genre that we won't cross as long as it sounds pretty good. Which is that's I think when I got past the phase in my life, which happened like in high school, where I was just like, I gotta like more than just. I remember this girl who was very good looking, and she had a CD of Superfly by Curtis Mayfield, but I was just listening to Metallica, and I was just like, what is that? And I was just like, I gotta listen to more cool stuff, and that's what a lot of this is. A couple more of your picks was Destroyer's new album.
Yeah,
that was a good album.
Yeah, it's he's Dan's an interesting figure for sure if you look at his stuff out there on YouTube, but just really like poetic, and again very vivid like imagery in his lyrics, and it almost seems like that wasn't this year when that album came out.
Oh yeah, I know, like that's the same thing with the Deep Sea Diver album. Really like these albums, it's like I feel like they've been with you a lot longer than they have been. Oh yeah, there it is right there. Dan's Boogie,
and
that's
a good Billboard Heart Jacket, and
that's a really good album. That Deep Sea Diver album there. I think it was, what track is it here? Track 4, Shovel.
Yeah.
Gave me some really awesome rockin' vibes. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, it's that breakdown, like after, she's talking about, just putting in the work to, work through stuff, get better. And then, she's got her shovel and she's, chipping away. And then just that breakdown when it's like you finally get to the point that you want to get to. And it's like, it's time to dance, man. That breakdown is phenomenal at the end. So
I like, again, all of these albums that you shared. Really, really, really good stuff. Which gets me excited just to see what's going to be coming in 2026.
Yeah, definitely. What were some of your favorites for 2025?
Some of my favorites for 2025. Definitely Wet Leg. Have you listened to them? Their new album. I thought that one was really, really, really good. I spent again a lot of time trying to dig through a lot of. I was in a big year of. It said that I listened to a lot of metal this year.
Yeah.
And I got a buddy who every week sends me a new metal album to listen to. So there was a lot of good stuff in the metal department that I was digging into that I thought was really, really awesome. The band Turnstile I had never really listened to too much, and their newest album was really, really good.
Yeah.
I also just like a lot of the. I gotta listen, and it also tells me as I listen to a lot of like older music too. This next year I gotta spend more time listening to more newer music. But when we went to the Riot Fest, that was a good indication to listen to all the bands that we saw there. And dig into all of them more, even some of the ones that I had never heard before, which is always the best for me, is to hear something you haven't heard before and to dig more into it. So pretty excited for that. Real quick here before we roll out, what is your what are a couple of your favorite Christmas songs of all time? Do you have any Christmas songs? Are you a Christmas song guy?
Wham's Last Christmas is a banger.
Is what's really crazy is that song is actually way more awesomer than anybody could even say. Like the keyboards, his vocal delivery, everything is really awesome. I really like the Kinks' Father Christmas, which pretty much sings about how, a bunch of rich kids are going to get a bunch of toys, but poor kids often suffer. So Santa isn't all that. This is a question I asked somebody at work. John Lennon has a Christmas song and Paul McCartney has a Christmas song. Which one are you going to go with if you were to? I think I'm going with John Lennon. It's a little more meaningful.
Yeah. I do like the cheesiness of Paul's with like
really
the synth.
Well, what I was reading about that was like he was like recording in some barn by himself. And like, can you imagine like, hey, I want to show you guys, I came up with a song, and it's that song that which is pretty good.
He's got another one Paul does in that same vein. I can't remember which album it's off of, but I think it's track 2, but Temporary Secretary.
Yes.
He's like, I think the story was like he just had a synth laying around and he was just farting around.
It was the same, if I'm not mistaken, it was that same recording time period. It was just like him messing around.
Yeah, he was just like, yeah, I got this synth and I came up with this thing and here we go. We're putting this out or something. But I loved it. It's so cheesy.
I've always been a big fan of the Beach Boys' Little Saint Nick.
Yeah.
That's good. But thank you so much, Mike, for joining me tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
And hopefully this is in the new year of 2026. We can get together a couple sometimes and see what's rocking and going. We'll hit up some shows and continue this awesome musical journey, man. But thank you so much.
Real quick, you said something earlier, and I just want to shout out friends who share music.
What'd you say?
I just want to shout out friends who share music.
Yes, definitely. All the time, Mike. You're always just passing these awesome albums along to me. I'm going to just really listen to more, just a lot of awesome stuff in the new year, and going to share some stuff back to you, and we're going to keep up this awesomeness. Everyone else out there, please have a good holiday season. We will be back with 2 more episodes until 2026, so look out for them. Those should be good. Also, go back and check out the James Bond series that we've been putting together here. Chipping away, we just did The Living Daylights, which had Aha as the soundtrack.
Yes.
Next up will be License to Kill, which will be next week. Those are amazingly a good time, so listen to them.
Yeah, definitely want to shout you guys out for that. You guys are doing some incredible work on that. So
thank you.
It's always a great listen.
Thank you. And also check out Mike on CHIRP Radio. When are you back on there?
Exclusive news.
Yes.
Fridays, 8 to 10.
Oh, I like that time. That's a good time.
Yeah, so
solid time period too.
January 9th, I'll be on Fridays, 8 to 10 p.m.
Cool. And we will definitely keep letting everybody on here know about that. Can't wait to see what you're playing. Check out everything else on the Sadistic Penguin Studios at the show. It's getting drafty in here. Go back and check out the past 2 hookup episodes I just recorded within the last week. Some really good stuff on there. Everyone else out there, please relax, take care. Thank you so much for listening, and have a good rest of your holiday season. Thank you, Mike, and everyone else out there for listening.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you for listening. Please look out for the audio version wherever you jam.